The Great Escape announced yesterday, August 8th, that the park will be permanently closing Alpine Bobsled. Keep watching to find out my thoughts on what's going to happen to the ride and what's next for the Great Escape. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Kevin, and if you'd like to know the latest of what's going on in the theme park industry, you've come to the right place. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you'll never miss an update. Now back to the video. Alpine Bobsled opened in 1988 at the Great Escape, but this wasn't its first home. The coaster originally opened back in 1984 at Six Flags Great Adventure as Sarah Herval Bobsled. Designed by Intamin and built by Gio Vinola, this bobsled coaster opened with a single-file seating configuration, but it was deemed too low capacity for the park, causing massive wait times. The coaster became a part of the Six Flags Ride Rotation program, where it was sent to Six Flags Great America for the 1989 season and opened as Rolling Thunder. Here, it would upgrade the ride vehicles to feature a new 2-across seating configuration. After the 1995 season, the ride was once again closed and put back into the Ride Rotation program. After sitting in storage at Six Flags Great America for a few seasons, in 1998, the coaster reopened at the Great Escape as Alpine Bobsled. This coaster is known to many to be the best steel coaster in the park, as well as one of the most popular rides due to its uniqueness. On a bobsled coaster, the train is not attached to the track. Instead, the coaster's trains ride along a single U-shaped trough that allows the cars to swing side to side onto the walls. It really gives you a fun, out-of-control feeling. On Alpine Bobsled, you climb up a lift hill that's 64 feet tall, and you enter a twisted ride course full of many quick direction changes, causing some great swings onto the walls, and you also deal with many mid-course brake runs. The ride has a top speed of 35 miles an hour and a ride length of 1,490 feet, which does seem a little bit short, but the ride time doesn't make it feel that short on this coaster. The ride does have one major issue though. It's almost never open. I've been to the Great Escape a bunch of times when I worked at Six Flags New England, and the ride operated very sporadically. If it wasn't down due to mechanical reasons, it was most likely down due to weather. Due to the design of the trough, if it rained ever so slightly, water would pool inside the ride trough, causing the possibility of the ride to valley, overshoot the blocks, or even possibly follow a ride path the ride was not designed to follow. Unfortunately, that was almost never the case, since it would take hours for the ride to drain or fully dry. Newer models from other manufacturers such as Mach are designed with gaps inside of the ride trough that allow for water to properly drain out and allow for better uptime. Now that the very last day to ride the coaster will be on September 4th, 2023, what's next for Alpine Bobsled? Honestly, it's probably just going to be scrapped. The coaster is pushing 40 years of operation in total between all three parks, but it's very unlikely that the coaster will ever operate again. I can definitely see the park sending spare parts and cars over to Six Flags over Texas to use on La Vibora. If they do send the cars over to La Vibora, I can definitely see them also sending station, lift, and block brake parts as well, so that way they can give the coaster an upgrade. On average, La Vibora has the longest line in the park due to its low capacity and low height requirement of 42 inches, making it a great coaster for families, so the park would greatly benefit from adding the additional capacity. Being that the rides are near clones to each other, I'm not really sure what upgrades the park would really need to add to do the additional 2-across seating, but if I had to guess, I would say that they need to upgrade the drive motors and the lift motor to accommodate the extra weight from the heavier ride cars and additional guests. The original configuration has 6 guests in a single file line, while the new seating configuration has 4 rows of 2 with guests sitting side by side. Now, if the parts that align the cars are wider on Alpine than what they currently are in La Vibora, the park would also need to upgrade that on the lift, the block zones, and the final brakes. Now, would the park really be willing to make this investment on La Vibora? I'm not sure, but it definitely is possible. Now, what's new for the park? Well, there are rumors going around that Six Flags Fiesta Texas has been teasing a ride removal for some time now. Current rumors are that Pandemonium, the park's Gerstlauer spinning coaster, will be getting removed and relocated to another park. But hear me out now. What happens if that park ends up being the Great Escape? Typically, I would never see a new coaster coming to this park, but with them losing a major coaster, I would think that Six Flags would try to expedite some type of major investment into the park to make up for the loss. The good thing is that Pandemonium would actually be a perfect coaster for this park. Most guests that attend the Great Escape are typically very local, which means that they're probably not going to go over to Six Flags New England, which is over 2.5 hours away. But if they did, Six Flags also doesn't really have any issues putting similar rides into nearby parks. A good example of this is that both Six Flags parks in Texas have a spinning coaster. Also, there are 2 Batman clones in San Antonio, so it's not uncommon for this to happen. After doing some research, it would turn out that Pandemonium would actually fit into the bobsled spot with a ton of room to spare. Using Google Maps, Pandemonium is approximately 288 feet by 130 feet, and Bobsled, on the other hand, is much larger at 455 feet by 212 feet. When overlapped, you can see that there's a ton of space to work with. Now, keep in mind this is my own prediction. There's no concrete evidence of this. I just personally think it's going to make the most sense. So tell me, what do you think is going to happen to Alpine Bobsled? Do you think it's going to get relocated, or do you think it's going to get scrapped? What do you think is going to be coming to the Great Escape as a replacement, if anything? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.